Right now, let's turn to MeitY, which of course stands for Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Now, this ministry has released the draft rules of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. This is open now for public consultation. So these rules, they're expected to provide clarity on consent-seeking mechanism, also ensuring data privacy, penalties for violations and data minimization as well. Let's find out what all is being drafted and put before the public. My colleague Sumita Kareer joining us from our Delhi studios to walk us through this. Sumita, do tell us what's part of the rules.
Right, so India has issued the draft rules for DPDP Act, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Remember, the Act was passed in Parliament in August 2023. These rules have been released for public consultation. In fact, after Home Ministry's approval, now comments are invited as far as these consultations are concerned till February 18th. And these rules are expected to provide clarity on how organizations collect data on consent-seeking mechanism, ensuring data privacy, data minimization, and of course, these also mention penalties for violations. So let's take a look at what the DPDP Act 2023 in a nutshell. It defines personal data. It provides safeguards to prevent personal data breaches. There is, of course, the concept of user consent and erasure of data as well. There are, of course, stringent obligations for data fiduciaries on how they process and store personal data of users. Data localization is also one theme, along with cross-border transfer of data and how organizations will be dealing with that. So there are specific rules with respect to that aspect as well. So all of these rules really suggest that consumers now have greater control over their own data and how organizations are using, collecting and processing that data. And consumers or users rather also have the right to demand details on purpose for the purpose of data collection on why the data is being collected. On any of these violations, there is a penalty of up to 250 crores, which is the highest penalty per incident. Remember, the data protection rules also provide for a formation of a data protection board as well. And of course, there is protection, special protection for children and people with disabilities, because the Act indeed defines child as somebody who's below the age of 18 and that children will now have to have a parental consent before their data is actually processed. So definitely this is India's privacy legislation. Now these comments have been shared for public consultation till February 18th, after which different other processes to start the implementation of these rules will begin.